The FBI is digging deeper into the motivations and leadership who may have driven and organized the January 6th insurrection. But our national realization of the increasing levels of hate and division in the U.S. has got me thinking about the tightrope walk that awaits President Joe Biden and the Vice President Kamala Harris and the Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin are now traversing. But hate lives on one side of that rope, and on the other are constant and painful efforts toward creating a more fair, equal, and diverse nation. This balancing act reminds us of the historic walk of Hank Aaron, a baseball giant and civil rights giant we recently lost. The young Biden administration can learn from his example. Aaron understood this tightrope better than anyone because of all his feats. He is best remembered for his historic campaign to beat Babe Ruth's record of 714 lifetime home runs that people thought was unbreakable. As Aaron's biographer Sandy Tolan writes, during his chase of the Babe Ruth record, Hank Aaron received 929,000 letters at an ounce apiece, 29 tons of mail. Some of it cheered Hank Aaron on, but much of those letters were filled with racist hate and violent threats. Among the sentiments received were threats to murder him unless he'd give up his chase for the home run record. The truer his swing at home plate, the worse he was treated by too large a portion of the American public, right up until the day he finally broke Ruth's record in 1974. Our country is struggling with a more modern version of hate and racism, and decentralized and networked, but with the same ugliness and force. The January 6th insurrection, with its accompanying symbols of anti-Semitism, racism, misogyny, and anti-immigrant fervor, it was beyond shocking to most Americans, and we want to believe that these hate groups are marginalized and confined to the shadows, but they are not. For the past 5 years, the Anti-Defamation League, Southern Poverty Law Center, and other groups have been continually alerting us to a different set of facts on the ground. After the incident, after the incident at Charlottesville, SPLC has reported a steady rise in hate crimes around the country and racial slurs being thrown around in schools. They also recorded a 55% spike of groups focused on suppressing the rights of almost every person that is not a white man. And ADL has been monitoring the consistent rise of threats towards public officials with anti-Semitic conspiracy theories sitting at the core of these groups' ideologies. Anyway, this makes Biden's next actions, alongside his pledge to create the most diverse cabinet that anyone in American history has ever announced, it's even more vital and important. The elevation of Harris and the appointment of Austin are immediate proof of the president's seriousness. The Vice President and Secretary of Defense are the stern pair on Biden's national security team, helping to guide a post-isolationist America. Um, they are also perfectly positioned to inform our country's response to the threat of domestic hate. Harris and Austin personally understand discrimination, misogyny, and racism from direct career experience walking a tightrope, and tightly correlated with the barriers that they broke rise into office. Um, it's an increase in direct threats and intimidation to them personally and to their families. President Obama experienced it, and so did a guy that once worked for Devil Patrick. Um, the first black the and Devil Patrick was the first black governor of Massachusetts, and Colin Powell, and so did countless others who awakened the worst and extremists and terrorists simply for standing up and doing their jobs and doing the right thing. Just as former presidents fought the KKK in the height of the civil rights movement, Biden Biden must now also unleash the power of his Justice Department, the FBI, and Department of Homeland Security to destroy a more distributed group of the far right hate organizations like the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, and Three Percenters. And the fix is hard, but this moment provides a unique opportunity to change. Biden already has a jump. He's signed executive orders that are focused on ending racial discrimination, and he's already issued a memo focusing on global human rights for the LGBTQ community. And Biden is fixing the DHS turrets toward eliminating the scourge of domestic terrorism by the white nationalists, neo-Confederate, and right-wing extremists. And Austin's defense department is poised to root out and expel members of these hate groups from its ranks. But only a united country can defeat the COVID-19 pandemic and revive the economy and conquer white supremacy. Biden, Harris, and Austin are balancing on the tightrope together, and all know full well the more successful they are, the more hate is coming at them from too many corners of America. Like Hank Aaron, this reality should not slow them down one bit.